Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
We talk fast.
Yeah, I actually really talk fast. So I wanted to come in and let you guys know a little bit about our company, and we are hiring too. We hire full-time and part-time. What we are is a global IT company, and in North America we have 3 locations. One's Salt Lake City, Utah, one's Augusta, Georgia, and then one's Rochester, New York. I apologize I was late. We actually have some client visits coming in, which means we have a lot of bigwigs, we have a lot of new open positions, a lot of new possible promotions. So we have a lot of things going on in the center. With that, we could potentially have 40 to 50 new positions open on top of our normal attrition in the next couple months.
Oh, wow.
So we are looking for those IT savvy people. We are looking for someone who has that customer service, you know, with a smile when you're talking on the phone. We are in a call center environment. We service medium to large size companies and government agencies. We just landed a huge Army contract, which is down in Augusta. We have banking clients. We have pretty much, you name it, any large size company we work with. All of our help desk agents start in a level 1 capacity. We do start at $14.50 an hour plus a bonus incentive. That bonus incentive gets people close to 16 at the end of the day. We also only promote from within for our level 2s. Our level 2s are considered our SMEs or our subject matter experts, and they take on a little bit more of a coaching role as well. So when all of our level 1s come in, they have a lot of support. They have a trainer, they have a on-the-floor trainer, they have chats, which we bring up, and level 2s are oftentimes in those chats when they come in, and if, say, you're on a long call, you can't figure out what the problem is. That level 2 sees that you've been on a long call, they ping you and say, hey, we need help. What's going on with the problem? And then maybe they would even take a warm transfer and escalate it. Our level 2s also coach agents on defect tickets, or if they have an average handle time that's taking too long. And they give them different tips and tricks of how to get better. And because those agents are all promotions from within, they've been in that seat before. And they work their way up to have a great average handle time, first call resolution, have that great quality assurance. And availability is one of our big things too with our metrics. So while I'm going over the metrics, this is all factored in with our bonus structure. So it's nothing to do with sales. It's just strictly you doing your job. Average handle time, first call resolution, quality assurance. So pretty much are you adhering to what we expect you to say and our client. Because we are so seamless, one of our clients, for example, is a bank, and we say thank you for calling, and then we say the bank's name, service desk. How may I help you? Nobody knows we're saying, hey, thank you for calling Unisys, because we are employees of that company calling in with issues with their work computer. So we make sure that it's very seamless to them. We are their IT, we are their admin. There's no confusion there, so just having an extra name in it, we just leave it all out, because we are it. We send out field engineers if necessary, we escalate tickets, we find server issues. If there's something that's widespread, we put out front-end messages. So it's a techy environment, and we take people who are in school. If they want to work part-time with their schedules. We take people fresh out of school with no experience. We take people who've been in the industry for 25 years. It's really a great place if you're looking for that entry-level IT and you want to get to the next level. We have a ton of learning tracks within our system. So within our learning tracks, you can get A+ certification, Network Plus certification, Security Plus, ITIL, PHR, Human Resources certificates, management courses. And because we're such a global company, there's a plethora of stuff in here because we've been around since the typewriter. People think So people think it's a little bit crazy when I say we're over 100 years old. And I'm around for the internet and everything. But it's because we've been around. But
I gotta take off to be honest.
Absolutely.
Have any information that you're needing now?
Yep, I have a packet, or it has the information of how to apply online. It also has my email address on here. And then I even have some technical assessments if anybody can take around. So this is how you apply, jobs.unisys.com. Michelle.Paul at Unisys is my email address. So if you do send in a resume, feel free to email me afterwards and let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to do? I'll give it out to everyone.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to see the recipe.
Yeah.
I'm not quite ready for stuff like this yet.
They're ready? Yeah. And then I have a job description too, if it's, if you want to look at the job description, how much.
Because I'm not quite ready yet.
Mm-hmm. How many classes have you taken?
This is my first semester.
First semester?
So I want to wait till the end of the semester like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am the contact person in Rochester. I am the recruiter. I'm the only one. So
You're busy, yeah.
I am very busy at times, so sometimes it takes me a bit to get back to everyone. But yeah, I'll just put this in black and white. Oh, that? No, that's just the path around. That's my laminated copy of the job description.
Oh, I know.
I've got copies of it.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if I
I'm
send
gonna
it
post
over.
in the black folder.
You can give it to me in the morning.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to contact me after a while and you're like, hey, you know, I remember when you came here, give me a reference point. I met you at this club meeting here, and I was very interested, and here's my resume. Let me know.
Yeah, because I want to get more.
Yeah.
Before I even contact, get the job.
To be comfortable with it.
Yeah, I want to make sure I know.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we do training too as well. So it's kind of nice when people are going to school, working part-time for us. It's like a double training. You get trained by us, you're learning real-world stuff, and then you're in school doing the same thing. So it's kind of a double win.
What's your minimum for part-time that you guys offer?
Minimum hours?
Yeah, minimum hours to maximum hours for your part-time employees.
We target 20.
Target 20? That's
Mhm.
perfect. That's really cool.
Yeah, we target 20. It could be a little bit less, could be a little bit more, but, and we also talk to the candidates because I have 2 part-timers I just hired today, and we have 2 part-timers in the class that just started last week. And the 2 part-timers in the class are doing full-time training if they can, and then they're going to move to their part-time hours because one's taking online classes and the other one's going to RIT. And then same for 2 here. I've got one who is working a second job and just doesn't want to give that up, so we're switching with her part-time schedule. And then a second one who is going to school as well. So we have a lot of those night and weekend shifts for that.
Do you get internships?
We are working towards that. That's actually something on the horizon right now. We are in the process of working with it. I've gathered quite a bit of information on it. And we also, because we are a global IT company, we require a lot of approvals. So because it's such a large company, you have to go a lot of different routes, but it is on the horizon. I do have packets of it on my desk, and that is something we're looking towards.
Will those internships, if they do come into existence, will they be with the SMEs, or do you have a network operating center? Is that
we have data centers, but it's not in Rochester.
Yep.
There are talks about possibly having a data center in Rochester. It's more of that IT/PC support in our managed service centers. But we do have engineers on site who work with the field engineers and everything like that. So there's a lot of different aspects of the company, and that's also why we're building an internship. We want to see, okay, we might require that the interns get a couple of learning tracks done with certifications as well that add to that supplemental learning with everything. And then possibly sitting them on the level 2s so that they can learn all that extra stuff. So the interns will probably have a chance to see quite a bit in the company, which is kind of the point of the internship too, so that you can get a full view. But it is a work in progress. I will let you know that recruiting is brand new. I've only been there 9 months. I am targeting fall for it, but again, I'm recruiting in Rochester. So if I get a bunch of new accounts going on, I'm working with OJT grants and nonprofits. It's whatever gets approved.
Yes.
Any other questions?
24-hour call center, or
we will be moving to 24/7. We have a very, very promising prospective client that wants it to be 24/7. So that would lead to a lot of overnight shifts, early morning shifts, a lot of stuff like that. Are you interested in things like that?
Yes.
Yep.
what kind of training do you have on
No, you're fine. About 2 to 3 weeks. It is a mix of classroom training as well as shadowing. And what we do for our shadowing is we have a trainer on the floor that you're paired up with, and they're kind of tracking your progress and working with the managers. The trainer on the floor will be managed by your same manager too, so you guys would all be working together. We have one person, we call it driving, so we have one person on the phone, then we have one person sitting. And then you switch off until you start getting comfortable. And so then you start going solo with your trainer with you. So we really work with you on that. Our training is targeted about 2 weeks with classroom, and then the 3rd week is a lot of shadowing. and then some of the video courses. So if there's anything that you're missing, say Microsoft Outlook related to your thing, the trainer will go back and do a training specific to Microsoft Outlook with you to get you ready. So it's kind of flexible with it. We have some people who come from call center environments, very tech savvy. They're like, put me on the phones, I'm ready. After 2 weeks, we just put me on the phones. Other people, they get to the end of 3 weeks and they're like, you made me know what they did. So we'd rather have that person be ready to be on the floor and feeling confident and doing well with their metrics, because that just makes it better for our company as well. So we really are looking to invest in our employees and do those learning centers, because moving from a level 1 to a level 2, because of Unisys University, which is all of those different courses that you can take, there's specific ones to coaching. Learn how to coach other people. Learn soft skills. Is your customer service attitude not that great? What can you do to kill the dead air? You know, there's dead air when on the call, things like that.
Included in that university, do you have the databases that you have built within your own company for this, like your bank client, for instance? There's a lot of specific information.
Those are our
health files. Because I've heard about that through friends that have worked at Unisys, that those exist. So are those things that you were trained before going into the job? And what programs are they under? Are they
a lot of them are proprietary softwares.
Proprietary software?
Yeah, specific to like the bank. And that would be something that their employees are using on the back end to do all the banking and everything. We have access to that. So for example, in the banking industry, no phones are allowed anywhere near computers, because there can be people with social security numbers, there can be people with bank account numbers, all that kind of good stuff. And it's all specific to their system. So if you're training you on that specific account with the bank, in your training, you would have the modules with the standard Unisys and how to be a call center rep and yada, yada, yada. We also have the 123 logging in. We have different systems, IEX and ours, that you need to get used to. And then when you get on the shadowing, that's when you see a lot of proprietary stuff. There is some classroom training associated with it as well, especially with the help files, to see how to click through, how to work it. I was actually in the training room earlier today, and that's what they were doing. They were on help file. Okay, well, where do I go look for this? The whole class is helping everyone find it and working through the help file. And we pick the help files of the accounts that are trained in. So we use every single account that we're help file that is being trained in that room while everyone's in training. We also try to cross-train people. So your skills aren't limited. If you started our company and you're, say, put into the bank, you could also cross-train and then be working on costs. So the cross-training is at least 6 months in. We want you to get your feet wet. We want you to be comfortable first. Once you get past that, if you came to a manager and say, I'm kind of bored, they will give you a plethora of stuff to start learning on the new account. You know, so there's no boredom in our company, especially if you want to further yourself. I mean, if you're sitting there and you don't have any college, you're more than welcome to go right on there and start studying something. Other people bring books. It's really just kind of what your preference is. If you're driven in the company, you can get a bunch of certifications. You could get a bunch of experience. And then all that experience could lead you to a promotion path very easily.
You share with what are they doing? Just standing watching you?
When you're shadowing, no, you both have chairs. You both have the headsets, and you have a whiteboard. So you're both listening to the exact same call. One can be muted if you want, but you're both listening to the exact same thing. And one person will be talking, the other person is typing. So you're hearing the exact same call. It's just you have your shadow of helping. Yep, or what needs to be in a ticket. So there's going to be certain things that are required in each ticket, and that's when you're learning what to put in each ticket and what's necessary based on the conversation that you hear your trainer doing. And they'll point out to you, you know, make sure you put this in, or see how I ask this, and they put it on you all the time, just to learn.
So you got a system.
You generate the ticket at the first level, and then the person at the second level will, before engaging, will read through the ticket so you have all of the relevant information.
So you can
Added to that.
once you're done with the call, you go back home.
Yep, there's actually some call time at the end too that you can log off your phone and it's like ticket finishing. And then you can make sure your ticket's all correct.
Yeah, that's enough.
And sometimes, and when people get started, they use a little bit more time for that. And then as you get going, people use very little time for that. So it's something that you kind of transition into getting used to doing the tickets, talking at the same time, filling it out.
Yourself off of it.
Yeah, because you get used to it. I mean, you're doing it all the time when you're doing auto tickets. And we use a Remedy ticketing system. I'm not sure if people have the ticketing systems. So yeah, we use the Remedy. And then, did anyone else have any other questions?
Yeah. Your training, is that just a full-time training for the duration while you're in?
Yep. And this is the 2 to 3 weeks. It's all paid. You are, when you get
So
that.
you do feel that you gotta help.
Yeah.
Oh.
If we do have someone who's on a remedial situation, we put them on a cap. And we tell them certain things they need to do. We work with them with trainings. We work with them with one-on-ones. And we really counsel them into, because we don't want people to leave. That's not kind of our goal. We're looking for people that, if we can continue to cultivate them and they're interested in getting the help, and we just have our
So
missing
you work
something.
on a week.
Yeah, yeah.
Opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
How much on the day?
Depends on the account. Our one group, I'm trying not to say I'm never talking. our one group, they get very few calls. They have a longer average handle time just because the problems that come in, they don't have field tickets, so they have to fix the problem. So they have a little bit more time to fix the problem. They have a little bit more availability to do all the fixes right off the bat. Other calls, it's an 8-minute call on average. So that's a lot of packet resets, maybe a lot of simple networking issues, some VPN issues, stuff like that nature. So it really just depends on how many calls you're going to get. And it depends on the day. Banking clients, first of the month. And our Mondays are usually busy, so if anybody wants to work Monday all day, that would be great. I'll take you. Does anybody else have any other questions? Yes.
An applicant that had a CCNA, Security Plus, A Plus, Network Plus, CompTIA certification, as well as an associate's degree, would they be qualified to skip from the initial call center into the second tier, or is there a corporate policy that
They'll throw out some of it.
is against that?
Yeah, because we really
Is there a
want
minimum time period?
6 months.
6 months?
Because we really want to cultivate our employees that are coming in. So everyone comes in the door at a level 1, and then the level 2s are opportunities for internal employees. We have hired externally for Augusta, Georgia, for our level 2s. I was a big part of that new center opening, but it's because we didn't have any employees there to promote to the level 2.
What were the level 2's qualifications at Augusta?
It's a very different demographic down there. It's extremely different when you look at their unemployment rates, their literacy rates, the pay scale, cost of living. It's a very different environment.
The qualifications that I just described, an associate's degree as well as those 4 certifications, would that qualify you for that in Augusta, or do you not want to say?
No, well the thing is it could qualify you for an interview, but everybody's interviewed, and then it was based on the interview questions and how the person actually responded to everything, and how they handled the level 2 interview questions as to how they got it. We have people who have bachelor's degrees and they look at
Yeah.
I mean, some people get their foot in the door that way. We have some candidates who have management experience and they come into level 1. We had someone who was a trainer over at Xerox in IT. She got training certification. She came in as level 1 and then promoted her to trainer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's twofold. Yes, it's unfortunate for the people that want to come in and they want to come in at that high level, but it's also really nice for our employees that we have there that we're really trying to cultivate them and help them reach that next level. Because also you have to know the environment, you have to be able to understand everything that's going on, and you have to be able to coach at the same time. So someone having a degree and everything, that's great, but I don't know what the soft skills are on that end of it. So we don't look at somebody just based on those specific things, it's part of the package. We do a technical assessment, we do a typing test, we do behavioral questions, we do capability questions. We have a face-to-face so that we make sure that you're a good culture fit with the company. We also have a phone interview to make sure that you're a good conversationalist on phone. So there's so many factors that go into what makes a good agent or a good level 2 agent that just looking at that small portion of something, it wouldn't be enough to figure it out.
So would you say that there's how would you describe the corporate culture at Unisys.
At Unisys?
Yes. So I've worked, just throwing my background, I've worked at a lot of restaurants, and I worked at a cheesecake factory, and I would draw a very huge distinction between the culture at that restaurant and every other restaurant that I worked at, because it was a corporate environment that actually followed through with, there's platitudes that are pretty much the same from company to company. But how would you describe Unisys in your own words?
Well, I can give you a couple of examples of what I think would give you an idea of what our culture is.
Yeah.
One example is we are actually being featured as the Business of the Month, Department of Labor, for all the success we've done in cultivating the workforce and our recruitment efforts. Channel 8 News is also featuring us with the workforce development, and they're very excited to do it. We also have multiple clients coming into our site. Rochester has not seen clients in over a few years. The reason we are seeing more clients is because we were so successful at being a great team and showing the center off that they are going to continue sending us clients, and I just heard word that the intention is to expand the site by at least 30%. I don't know if that gives you an idea of the culture.
Sounds like it's something that is expanding and growing, and I would imagine that there's motivation behind all of that.
There's a lot of changes coming. A lot of changes have been made. We're an IT company. It's not good. If something's not changing, it's weird. So we're constantly moving forward. We have a lot of growth coming our way. We have a lot of opportunities. The center has been a buzz recently.
Right. You got another question? Now, after the trial, I had to ask that question. I'm sorry.
No.
Because I'm on my last go round.
Do you remember when I heard that we've got people who were in the field for 25 years? Hire people who've been in the field for a long time.
Well, this is my first time.
And you'll be a fresh grad, right? Or a student. It doesn't. No. It doesn't have anything to do with that. We are very, very inclusive. One of my big passions is working with certain demographics that are disadvantaged. I do that in a volunteer sense. And I'm also able to really cultivate that group of people on volunteering and do kind of pro bono work with myself. So at least my culture and my passion of hiring, which
I don't want to be treated no different than anybody else. I just was wondering, because a lot of companies I know, they look at their age.
I'm really hesitant to even say anything about age or anything like that, because when people, if I'm in an interview with you and you mention something like that, my response is going to be, that's not a concern. I would rather see how you answer the question. So I try to avoid talking about that as much as possible, because if somebody brings it up, it makes me uncomfortable. Because I don't want to talk about age. I want to talk about what your experience is, what your knowledge is, and can you do the job. We've got people who come to our company and this is their second or third appointment. One of my good coworkers that I'm really close with him.
I mean, you really see the stuff on the TV all the time about how.
No. My coworker who I'm really close with, he's like, tell me what I'm a grandpa, like so many times older, and like I don't even want to talk about it. And I'm like, yeah, you're fine. We talk in the same level. I mean, it's not. Age is not a thing. Same with any other situation. even gender and all that. Like we.
EEOC dictates you can't do that anyway, according to United States law. So they kind of don't have a choice.
I think about coming here prior to Stanton, where I had been in school for 37 years, and I know my learning curve is not so far so good with me. I want to finish it out and go to.
Okay. Well, you can always talk a little bit before. Never know.
Got your number now.
Yeah, you got my email. Yeah, because I mean, there are some people that are just tech savvy and they're getting into this industry. Okay, so you want to take take whatever time you need to feel comfortable before you get reach out to me with everything. But I'm hoping you will reach out eventually.
Okay.
Don't forget me.
I think that the time I was coming with Professor Haynes and
Yeah. And I mean, it's also the customer service attitude too. I really like the conversation. And you can see that just in interacting with different people. Sorry, I don't see my mom's watching. Does anybody else have any other questions coming up? Would anybody want to try a test if they're maybe interested in interviewing soon?
Yes.
Sure.
There you go. There's my first guess. They're about 20 exams. I would have to take them back to get graded for you guys.
I got class.
Yeah, your class.
Yeah, I got a class at 3.
What about you? Do you have time?
All right, time.
Okay. And if any of you are interested in taking the test and moving forward, email me directly with your resume and let me know. Perfect. Tell your friends too. We're hiring a lot. As I said, 30% increase. I had to end my meeting with my global VP. I was like, if you want to do a 30% increase, I've got to get over the rest. There's one last page I missed for you. 5.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Do you have a business card, by the way?